miscue. Carter, stolen by Williams. And look at this. Oh, you don't like that. You don't like NBA basketball.
Fox, goodbye. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball. The exclamation point from De'Aaron Fox. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball.
Boy, that's an ESPN highlight right there. Whoa. Carlson comes in. How about this? Holy moly, Jim Bob Foley. That is a major league smush.
You guys haven't heard me the entire time? Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake. Okay. I'm going to recap that in about 30 seconds. No Cam Thomas. Welcome in, by the way, to the Kings court. No Cam Thomas, number one, tonight for Brooklyn, which is a huge loss for them. Their guys played some big minutes last night in a win over Detroit. Chimezie Metu getting the text now, John. No audio. Okay, we're good now. So got all the nicest audio equipment I can, but then I don't know how to operate it. What's going on, Ryno? All right, so what I was saying, Cam Thomas, no-go tonight. He was the Nets' leading scorer last night. Wrist issue. So Chimezie Metu for the Pistons last night actually started, put up 23 for them. But back to the Knicks, here's what I want to say about them. They like to shoot a lot of threes, or the Nets. They don't shoot the three ball that well, though. So if the Kings can kind of put them in a spot to make them shoot those threes, whether it be offensive rebounding off of missed threes or whatever it is that gets you into transition, that's what I want to see the Kings do tonight. All right. As I was saying, I don't know if the doors are open. You guys didn't hear that because I don't know. I'm not in Stockton yet. Thank you. Prescribe me some audio, buddy. Cannot hear you. Ryan, you are an idiot. You are an idiot. You are an idiot. There we go. No sound. No sound. Not again, Ryan. No. You guys almost went to WrestleMania. There we go. All right. We got me now. We're all good, right? Right. No audio in Sacktown. Yeah, fair enough. Hey, you know what? Hold on. Hold on. I deserve it. I deserve it. 1 second.
That's not a good call. No. You don't like that call. I don't like that call. Not a very good call.
No yeet.
No yeet. Not a good call. All right. We're back to normal. Hey, can anybody believe the Kings are 10.5-point favorites tonight? What the hell is going on? 10.5-point favorites. You guys remember when Napes called me crazy when I said that I think they'll be a favorite again this year outside the Portland game? Well, here we are, 10.5 though. Holy crap. Look, the Nets, no rest, played yesterday. The Kings are rested, and I expect the best version of the Kings right off the bat. Punch them in the face. And here's the other thing that I want to look for with this Sacramento team tonight. We saw it in the Jazz game, right? And this actually kind of started in the Dallas games. The second Dallas game, the Kings went on in the third quarter, a great defensive run. They strung together stops, and they couldn't play any offense. They weren't able to score the ball. And that ultimately led to their downfall that game. Well, again, against the Celtics, they had stops. They had a lot of stops at the beginning of the game, and the shots weren't falling. So here's what I want to see tonight. If the Kings get into one of those situations where they're putting together 3-4 stops, because it'll happen with the defense that they're playing. It will happen tonight. I'm seeing the Kings panic a little bit right now. Panic, because they know that that is their place where they're going to be able to make up some firepower. That's their place where they're going to be able to score and kind of go on a run, right? But that's also the times that they sometimes take bad shots. The IQ goes down, right? My bad, Walt. My bad. I know. It was a bad April Fool's joke. You know what? I just had down there hit, even though everything here was set. So sorry about that. Let's see. Flores Stockton game will be more exciting than this one. It's going to be rocking. It is. And Gabriel Harris, the GM, excuse me, I'm wiping my eyes, in Stockton, he's done a great job. And he hasn't done just a great job helping develop that talent and work in collaboration with the Sacramento Kings. He's helped scout that talent too. And we're talking about the guys that don't go through the NBA draft, that are just free agents. Look, the Stockton Kings most every year will hold an open tryout for guys that have played college basketball that maybe have one more run in them. So I'm really proud of what they're doing down there. And tonight would be a big win. Think about, and let's backtrack this. And I don't want to spend too much time on it. And I've not talked to the organization about it, but think about earlier this year, what happened. Some really serious bad stuff. Murder, allegedly, right? Somebody on the Stockton Kings. To go from a situation like that and to be able to keep rolling through the season and be one of the best teams in the G League late in the season, tremendous credit to the leadership of that team. Tremendous credit to Lindsey Harding, G League Coach of the Year. And you've seen that rub off too, y'all. I've said this all the time. You've seen this rub off on the guys that come up to Sacramento and get some minutes here or there. They are always ready to play. Let's get Garrison in here. What do you think the chances are the Kings miss the playoffs altogether? No, they're not going to miss the playoffs altogether, Garrison. Now, if you're talking about a 7-game series counting as the playoffs, then yeah, very well could happen. But this team, I said this on the Kings Court earlier today. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, the ceiling, in my opinion, for this team, for where they finish after 82, is 7. The Kings are shooting for the 7 spot. The floor is 10. And that could happen too. It would take a lot from the Kings because of the lead right now they have over the Warriors, but that could theoretically happen. Your Kings sit in the 9 right now. Sit in the 9. So they're going to get a chance. They're going to get a chance. It just depends on whether they're going to take advantage of it and win the big one. Let me be more clear. Miss the play in also. Yeah, that's what I said, Garrison. It's not happening. The Kings are making the play in. So Clippers came back from 26 behind Paul George. Thanks for picking us up, Patrick, giving us the updates. As I said earlier, y'all can call the show as well if you'd like. We always bring this guy once in a while in. Zach, what's up, man? Happy Sunday.
Yep. Just excited for this Kings game. Really hope we win and get the W because it's pretty troubling if we don't. We need that a Kings win today and a Lakers loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I was telling everyone, because I was telling everyone about a week ago, don't expect a 6 seed. Let's just hope for the 7 or 8 and have 2 shots at it. And
Yeah.
now it's kind of scary because we could be looking at 9 against the Warriors. I don't.
Totally.
Honestly, I don't think 10. I mean, 10 could happen still, obviously, but I'm not too worried about 10.
No.
Yeah.
It's the ceiling. That's why I'm saying
Yeah.
floor and ceiling. That's the floor. So Garrison just second clarified, and that's what I meant all along. They're not going to miss the play-in, so they'll be there.
And then as for I didn't get a chance for the Celtics game, but honestly, man, they rested their players at the end, which is kind of crazy because I brought that up I think before, and we didn't expect it to happen, but I guess they did. And
Hey, Zach, Mike, it didn't bug Mike Brown. It didn't bug De'Aaron. I know Chang kind of was going there a little bit in the post game, but it was an opportunity and they pounced on it.
Yeah, I think I wasn't mad about the Colby Jones missed call, but the most mad, I mean, I think people were talking about it with you anyway. It's Keegan's just got to be more aggressive grabbing those boards because he missed 2 of them at the end, and that really
He did, yeah.
I think people telling him about it, and I think he'll learn from it. So I'm not too worried about it. But if it happens again in a big situation, I'm a little worried. Because man, I mean, it's crazy because I actually looked at the stat line and he had 11 rebounds. So he rebounded the ball well that game.
No, he did. He's done it all season.
Yeah.
He just missed the big one. That's all it was. It's like Harrison Barnes last year, right? With that 3 in the playoffs. He just missed it. It was a good look. The thing I was going to say, Zach, that's interesting, the 2-minute report came out. It came out yesterday. I think I was one of the first ones to put it out. So they definitely thought the Colby play was a foul. Did you have a chance to check out the rest of it?
I did not actually.
So there were a couple missed calls down the stretch, a couple that they also confirmed as well. But I mean, the Colby call was a big call. That's a huge call. And I guess that brings up a bigger question. Does that little run get Colby any more minutes or into the rotation tonight?
Yeah, I like the way he's a little bit. He's not super good at anything, but he can do a little bit of everything type of player. He has he's an okay dribble. He's looking around for a good pass. Obviously a shot is the thing that's worrying. Can he make that open 3? So that's the thing that'll keep him getting minutes if he can strike out that open 3. Because I think he's a decent defensive player. He has got some good size and length, so I think he's useful. Mike Brown's just been playing with that Duarte / Edwards / Jones.
I don't like the Duarte. I don't. I think I don't know why Mike Brown continues to go to him outside of need when the Kings are just crazy thin and they have to play everybody. To me, those minutes are Kessler Edwards minutes. Those are there's a lot of different combinations Mike could play there, and you could even throw some more Davion in there. I know he's not a forward, but the Kings have a tendency to go small, and I don't know. I think it could work. They found some combinations that have worked here and there.
Yeah, it's crazy that we're still tinkering with the rotation, getting new players and like
they
Colby
have
Jones.
Yeah.
It's just crazy because there's only 4 games left and stuff. But I know Sasha. He can knock down that 3. He's been shooting from 3 very well actually this season. I mean, throwing Colby Jones is a wrinkle there. I like it to see it. Just got to for tonight. Just got to hold Cam Thomas. Hopefully, he doesn't have a crazy game.
He's out.
Oh, he's out today.
Yep.
Oh wow. And then I guess then just guard Michael Bridges. Keegan's gonna be on him, and even Kessler could play. He used to play for this team, so maybe he knows a thing or two about this. Strategy.
Zach, the guy I'm looking at tonight is Dennis Schroeder. And I get that he's a journeyman. I get that he's nothing special on most nights, but he's the kind of guy that can sometimes have big nights. And he's the kind of guy that, I'll be quite honest, he's a ball hog. So if I'm the Kings, dare him to shoot. And I know he put in, I think, like 23 or 24 last night. But if you could shut Mikal out, you can keep Claxton out of the lane, and you don't let Dorian Finney-Smith run circles around you, then I think that's a good game plan because Schroeder, he's not shy to throw it up there.
Yeah. I think Kings are 9.5 point favorites.
10.5 now.
Now it's 10.5.
You remember when Grant said they won't be favored the rest of the year? And I called him out. I'm like, hey, no, they will at some point. He said outside of the Portland game, they wouldn't be favored again. And this happens, of course. What if SGA doesn't play? Would they be
Yeah.
favored then against OKC? So, anyways, but yeah, and here's the thing, Zach, that I
Well,
think
I think he said the Nets, Jazz, and Portland or something other than those three. But we ended up being favorites for the Clippers game, so that was the first one.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
The thing I'm looking at here, because the you said it, and I'm seeing some comments in here that the Kings should win this one going away. I completely agree with that so long as Mike Brown reins in the guys. If they're going through 3, 4, 5 field goal drought and they're getting stops, that's when Mike Brown needs to be an asshole, and he needs to just really hammer in on basketball IQ and possessions there. Thank you, MC, by the way. Do that. And by the way, Garrison, nobody is ever stupid here for making a comment. The only people that are stupid are the trolls, and we police them pretty well. So don't feel bad about that, dude. I do it all the time. But Coach Brown's got to find a way to break it up, because you know how the game started last night or 2 nights ago against the Celtics. They had, like, after the first shot, like 6 or 7 stops in a row, and then they had 6 or 7 field goals that they missed in a row. And so, like, to me, if they're relying on the 3 there, taking step back threes, that's where it's like, I don't care who you are, you're coming to sit on the bench. And Mike Brown kind of did that last game. Did you notice how De'Aaron Fox came out but never went to the bench and went back in to check in? I felt like that may have been Mike Brown kind of holding him accountable too. So we'll see, Zach.
Man, yeah, it's crazy. If that was some accountability, we're in it late in the season, man. It's go time now.
It is go time. There's no doubt about that. Not a lot of time left.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping we can get we got 5 games left. If we can get 3 of them, it's going to be tough. But we have a tough schedule. That Portland one needs to be locked. Today needs to be a lock. And I mean, it'd be nice to get one of the maybe 2 of the OKC Pelicans Suns, but. Yeah, I'm really hoping the Kings just take care of business today and Lakers lose, and it's gonna be honestly, we have 7 days till we find out what our season is, what our position is, which is kind of crazy because we're pretty much playing 5 games in 7 days, which is kind of insane, and so it's coming down to it. The end is near here for the regular season.
It is, my friend. The play-in starts April 16th. Crazy to think about. So, all right, my friend, I'm sure we'll be talking to you later. I might not be because I'm going to be in Stockton, but Grant will have open phones after this one from Brooklyn.
Sounds good. I'll be messaging you on Twitter.
Yeah, hit me up. All right, bud.
Sounds good. Thanks.
That's the NBA guru, Zach. All right, let's get to some of these questions. Garrison, how many games have the Kings lost when they were the favorites? I have no idea off the top of my head. If you just look up Kings against the spread ATS, I think on the road their ATS is better than it is at home. At home, the last time I checked, it was like 9-24. Now, that doesn't mean that they didn't win the game. That just means they didn't cover. So somebody do the legwork on that one. Garrison having a busy night here. The Kings game plan, live by the 3, die by the 3. It better not be, or else they are losing this game. All the keyboard warriors. Sure, I guess. We got some good, loyal people in here, Kevin. Like to talk some basketball. I'm excited for tonight, Athena. I mean, you got the Kings, right? You got 2 Kings going. We got the Western Conference Finals in Stockton for the Stockton Kings, and then obviously Kings, Nets, and then, by the way, y'all, is Cody going to finish the story? Is he going to do it? For those that know what I'm talking about. And by the way, I will block you if you send me any spoilers while I'm in Stockton. I'm going to do my best to get from Stockton, and I've let everybody know there, everybody at the front office, I've said, do not tell me anything that may happen in WrestleMania. Do not announce it over the arena. What's up, Lance? He was at the last game. We had a chance to talk. Probably not how we all expected the Kings to get here, but aren't they realistically a 7-9? Yeah, they are, Lance. 100%. Yeah. And again, let's look at how this team was originally built with Mike Brown. wasn't built for offense, but the offense just showed up. And they've continued building more defense than offense. That's why when Malik Monk went down, we're looking at like, okay, where's the offense going to come from? So now we got a small taste towards the end of the season of the defense that Mike Brown and his team wants to play. But what's that mean for next year? We have one sample size that you laid out perfectly. The Kings had an injury-free year last year. They were the darlings of the league. They break the playoff drought this year. They have a grinding year, right? One that you couldn't say necessarily was a step up. I don't know if it was a step back, though. That's the thing. And that's all stuff we'll have to think about after the season. What's up, Athena? Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it. Lance, are you going to Stockton tonight? Kevin, dude, too many keyboard warriors for you. That's all right, man, dude. You don't have to be here, Kevin. I mean, you could go somewhere else, my friend. My brother. Go somewhere else if you don't like all of it. Can't make it tonight, John. I love the show within the show with all you guys talking about this. What's up, Dio? Murray and Barnes have to be aggressive to the basket. Now, I'm really glad you brought that up. Good job by you, Dio. Last night, the backup forwards for the Brooklyn Nets had 24 points combined off the bench. 24. That can't happen tonight. So whatever the Kings bench has to do, not saying their bench has to outscore Brooklyn's bench, but you can't have two guys go off like that against the Kings. And again, the hot topic that everybody's talking about is the doubling. The Kings doubling players, doubling the post. We talked about it at length on the post-game show. There's nobody on this Brooklyn team that is playing tonight that deserves to be doubled. Now, it's okay to double here and there, use it as a wrinkle throughout the game, but that's not something you're going to want to do all the time, because indirectly, that can spark the other team. That can get some guys going that might not have been going prior to that when you let them see the ball go through the net. Let's see. Yeah, they have lost to some worse teams. How is the Stockton matchup tonight? To be honest with you, Lance, I don't know a ton about OKC. I'm more focused, or I have been more focused on what the Kings are doing. So I think the way that I look at it, and this is going to be a generic answer, I think that the Kings could beat anybody in the G League. I think that this is their championship to lose. I know the Osceola Magic have been a powerhouse in the G League the last couple seasons. Mac McClung is the one of their guys. Remember him? Back-to-back NBA slam dunk champion. But I think the Kings match up well. Now, so you'll recognize this, Lance. I would not expect them to get the same production that they did out of Stanley Johnson tonight. Stanley Johnson had a fabulous game last game, and the three that put the Kings up for good. You would have thought, Lance, back me up, it was going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. I mean, literally, the clock was just going down to 1. It felt like, as Stanley passed the ball to Mason, and Mace got it off. He had plenty of time to get it off. I was actually shocked. It was not a rush shot, and it worked. And so I think that they won't play Stanley the same tonight. You're going to probably need, to me, a little bit more from Mason Jones than you got last game. He's the heart of that team. And the other guy I want to see a little bit more from is Jordan Ford. Jordan's not filling it up a ton down there, and he can. He's just not. So maybe he checks into the action a little bit more tonight in the scoring column. You got your money on Stockton over Sacramento. All right, Kev. Fair enough, dude. Sabonis has to figure out when they stack the paint. Doesn't it feel like most of the Kings are a little bit slow to react when it's not? I don't want to say an IQ thing, but when it's a defensive wrinkle, doesn't it seem like it takes them just a split second longer than some of the top tier NBA teams to identify a zone, to smoothly roll into a zone offense or whatever it may be? And it starts with Sabonis. It's a good point. Now, I brought this up too, Deo. If you guys listen to the Kings Court, I talked about the pick and roll. Let's get this one up really quick. If the crowd is as good as the crowd last week, they should win easily. Yeah, the crowd was rocking. It should be better. I talked about this on the Kings Court. The pick and roll between Sabonis and Monk. It's always downhill. Always downhill. And the pick and roll with De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis, not always downhill. Have you guys noticed the last couple games? Almost like some lateral movement. Lateral when De'Aaron's coming off of that screen, almost like he's trying to get a little bit of either read of the defense, or he's also trying to set them up for a change of speed where he's kind of delaying, boom, and then he goes. But at the end of the day, right now, it's not effective. There's times Sabonis isn't looking for the ball, and there's times where Fox isn't looking for Sabonis. So if those two can get a little more downhill in the spacing on their pick and roll is better, I think there's a lot of room for growth there. And here's the other thing I would do too. Davion Mitchell has been shooting the 3-ball extremely well. He sets a hard screen. I would not hesitate to throw him into some pick and roll action with Keegan Murray. I think that those two could make the defense make some hard decisions because you have to guard Murray. And I think a lot of teams would right off the bat go under the screen on Davion. So that could give Davion that opportunity to get going. But the bottom line is this is a race to 100 points tonight. If the Kings can get to 100, they win this game. If they get to 100 first, they win this basketball game. It's not going to be a game where the Kings are wire-to-wire blowout. No, it's going to be back and forth. This Brooklyn team, the Eastern Conference, is better than you think. So the Kings are going to be in for a run tonight. Don't look at that spread. I am not really a fan of that, to be honest with you. Hey, I appreciate it, Kevin. Yeah, we upgraded to industry standard, man. I've got all these sound drops. You know, I can do this cool stuff. I can record on the fly. So, yeah, appreciate it, my friend. Ford was definitely quiet last game. Also, with Sacramento having injuries, they are pulling. That's true. Colby is with them. Colby would have probably been with Stockton if the Kings were here in Sacramento and not dealing with injuries. But yeah, they're gonna do fine. Again, great things coming from that organization. I can't say enough about it. Dale jumping back in. This is a wild thought. I like Fox as a sixth man. Monk as a point guard. Yeah, not going to happen. Egos involved there. De'Aaron Fox is your max point guard, max player, star player. He ain't coming off the bench. If he is, he's going to another team. So that's how it is. Did you guys find it interesting that De'Aaron, after the game, last game against the Celtics, he did bring up Tyrese Halliburton. I thought that was interesting. He talked a little bit about just playing off the ball and that time when Tyrese was here, because that's what was the big change for De'Aaron. And I know he went through an injury during that spot, but some people also say, well, was he frustrated? Who cares? It's in the past. But the reason I like to hear it come up is because we've wondered about De'Aaron and playing off the ball, where his head's at, and the fact that he's seeing it as a challenge and he's also seeing it as a positive. I like that a lot. So I've asked the question. I've put the question out many times. Does Sabonis and Fox make each other better? And the other question that I put out all the time is De'Aaron Fox sometimes okay taking a back seat to another guy on this team? And I think we're getting the answer to that. You saw when him and Monk and Davion were playing together. So a lot of room still for growth. This is a big game for the Kings. They absolutely have to win this game in Brooklyn. If they do not win this game, man, I think coming off of that run they had against the Celtics, I think they're going to come in feeling well. They're going to be rested. Look for a big start. Feels like a game the Kings start out maybe 10-12-0. And it goes from there. Look for the Kings to hopefully hold them to, I would say the Kings need to win 3 or 4 quarters, meaning 3 of the 4 quarters, Brooklyn needs to score under 30. And I hammer it home every single night. The transition game Can the Kings win the transition game both offensively and defensively? Those are your keys. Those are the things we're going to be looking for tonight. I will be in Stockton. Looking forward to that. I'll be doing the halftime show with Jerry from Stockton. Hopefully I can find a nice quiet place down beneath the tunnel. But hey, enjoy the first half. Keep tuned to my Twitter page. Keep tuned to updates leading up to the game and also updates for the Stockton game. The reception, back me up here, Lance. The reception's not great in there. It was taking me forever to get some of those live plays updated to you right as they happen, especially Slauson. My goodness, that kid, he is not NBA ready, but he's got NBA plays in him. He made some plays the other night that were nuts. So, yeah, we got you covered wire to wire tonight. Grant will be here post game. We'll be back at halftime. And thanks for hopping on a little bit early with me. Wanted to do that because so many things going today. But enjoy the first half. Go Kings. Light the beam. We'll see you